Scott, we've returned back home after a couple of difficult away fixtures. We've managed to regain that winning feeling, but at the same time, we've also kept the home run going. It's now 16 games here, 2-0 win. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, incredible achievement. I feel like I'm repeating myself after the home games, and long may that continue. Hell of a result for us. I've got a lot of respect for Weston and the way that they do things. But I feel like, and I said it to the staff and the boys, we're really good against possession-based teams. I think we set up really well, and the boys apply themselves correctly. We've got so much energy to go and win the ball back, and I think we did that. The first goal came from our left wing back, Jammers, obviously winning it probably 40 yards from goal, being really aggressive. Great ball from Nathan. And I've been butting heads with Lenchi for months now about saying you need to get into the box. I don't think he's scored a goal this season in the league until today. Ebbsfleet was his only goal, and Matty Lench with his ability should be getting 10-15 a season in my opinion, because of the energy and the quality that he's got. And I was so proud of him today, and I told him that after the game, which is difficult for me to say. But he was so full of energy, and that's what he's all about. He sometimes wants to come to the ball and go and get on the ball and dictate, but he did the other side of it really, really well today, and I think he obviously got us ahead in the game, which was huge. It was really flat today at times in the first half. I don't know why. It felt like there was a lot more people in the ground in the second half because we gave them something to cheer about. But yeah, overall fantastic win, and then obviously Jammers getting the second. So extremely proud of all the lads and the people that came to support us today.
I think you just mentioned about it being maybe a little bit flat in that first 25-30 minutes. I just wonder, do you think that might be because of kind of that start to the game? It felt like it was very possession heavy with Weston, and then there was kind of a switch. I'm not sure if you changed something tactically at all after that kind of half an hour mark, just before the goal actually. But that seemed to change things just then.
Yeah, I think the pitch was quite slow today. It's quite dry, and it probably suited us more than it suited them. They're an excellent footballing side. They always have been. We used to play against them at Wealdstone years ago, and I remember thinking to myself, they're a brilliant side, and every single game that you play against them, you know you're going to be in for a tough afternoon because they do keep the ball and they move it well. But I thought the way that the boys went about the business was brilliant. We wanted to be front foot, wanted to be really aggressive, and I thought we did that. At times you're not going to be able to do it for the whole game, so we had to sit in our shape and soak up some pressure. But the balls that came into the box, I felt like we dealt with them, whether it was the back three, the two wing backs, or if it was Dan Lincoln making a save. So yeah, really good afternoon. I think there's so many positives throughout the team, but the work rate for me today was the thing that sort of stood out, which I mentioned to the boys, from the front all the way through to the back. Really good result after two disappointing, obviously, defeats on the road. The Dover one, obviously, yeah, disappointing to lose that one. I think we should have got at least a point. And the over one, like I said, it was a free hit, so it was important that we won today, and we can all go home happy, I'm sure.
And speaking of work rate that you've just said there, new signing announced yesterday, Christy Wards. It looked like he got a bit of appreciation from the fans as he came off as a substitute. What are your thoughts on his performance? Because I thought he was very good.
Yeah, I thought he was superb. He's exactly what I've wanted for the last year. I've tried to sign him as soon as we played Hungerford last season. I thought he was brilliant against us. He was running up the hill after about 85 minutes, and he ran past a couple of us, and I thought, Christ, he's got some engine. So I tried to sign him in the January, tried to find out if he was available in the summer to come on loan, and then a couple of days ago found out he was available, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Having trained on Thursday night for the first time, he's come into the group, he's fitted in so well, and then today's performance just rounded off a great week for him, I'm sure. He'll go home happy. I know Wickham were here watching him today as well, and I'm sure they'll be impressed, but I think the way that he just ran beyond, winning second balls, I think 2 or 3 minutes before he came off, he's probably gone on a 60-70 yard run across the pitch and then up into the corner flag, and that's the type of thing that we need. We are high energy, and he'll add to that. With Lenchi and Nashi in there, there's probably 3 players that you wouldn't want to play against, because they're forever in your face, running behind you at the same time, and I thought they were superb.
I know he's only played the one game then, he's made his debut today, but I'll cheekily ask the question anyway, because clearly you're quite fond of him. Is that, because it's a 28-day loan, I believe it is that something you'd be looking to try and extend further out?
Yeah, I believe it's 28 days with the option to extend, and I think it will be extended if it works for both parties. He needs games from now to the end of the season, and I'm sure if he keeps those levels of performances, he'll play. we will look to extend it, and I think Wickham will be happy with that. In my mind, it will be till the end of the season. He's a lovely lad, great lad, and you can probably see the desire in him today to want to go and play matches. I think he's played 4 or 5 games all year. I say all year, all season. So he's still getting fit. So if that's him playing after 4 or 5 games, then who knows what it'll be like after 6, 7, 8 games. So yeah, it's a delight to have him part of the group. There's obviously competition for places. Leon's out in midfield today. You've got Ez was on the bench as a central midfielder. I'm playing out of position, people might say, at the back. So we've got a lot of options in there. But when we play a 3 or a 4 in there, it's important that we do have those people to turn to when you pick up injuries and suspensions. Is key.
Matt Ledge today was awarded man of the match, but there was one name in particular that was spoken to me by a few fans after the game, Jamal Prosper, who also got his goal. Just a word on him and how well he's been performing of recent too.
Yeah, Jam has been incredible, I think, all season. He's played in 5 different positions. I feel myself getting a bit emotional now. He's had a really tough week. He's had a really tough week. I think something going on in his family at the moment. So for him to go out there and perform the way that he did on Tuesday night, and then again today, it shows his mentality, his character, and to get a goal, I was so pleased for him. The smile on his face. So it's obviously something I won't go into, but my eyes are welling up now just thinking about it. So fingers crossed. There's thoughts with him and his family at the moment. But yeah, I think I'm so proud of him for what he's been through. But maybe that's something that will come out at a later date. But for me, it's just a sign of the person that he is. And I think, like you say, to get that header gave us the second goal in the game, and it made it a lot more comfortable for us.
Just to turn then to maybe perhaps the one negative of the day, the yellow card received today by Tamika Mkandawire means he will now face a suspension alongside your own suspension. You can tell it was one that kind of frustrated you a bit because you had a fair bit to say to the referee after it.
Yeah, I really like the ref, I'll be honest with you, and I would have said that whether we'd drawn or lost or won today. I think he's a very good referee, and he communicates with you throughout the game. He wasn't obviously to know that Temi's on 9 bookings. That's now his 10th, so he misses the next 2 games. But Temi's not taken a throw-in all game, and that's my bugbear. Book Josh, who's taken throw-ins all game. Temi was just talking to Josh at the time. I went over to go and pick the ball up, so maybe book me. I'm the one with the ball in my hand. So Temi was nowhere near the action, and that's my frustration that we miss myself and Temi for next week. The only saving grace is that we've got Joe Dandy, who's been brilliant when he's played, and like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but Joe's probably been hard done by. We had a good chat on Thursday night, and he knows that we value him. We think a lot of him. He's our vice captain, and he'll step up to the plate next week. So there's no dramas with that. But yeah, it's just a frustration. Obviously, I don't want to hammer the ref because he wasn't to know. But yeah, I just felt like he booked the wrong person.
And then we turn our attention then, as you said, there next week. Torquay United away. They've taken a bit of a battering today at home to St Albans City, and their manager there, I believe, is under a bit of pressure. What are your thoughts now turning towards that one? Yeah,
it's a huge club, of course, and there's expectations and pressure on them to do well. They are probably underachieving in their fans' eyes, but it's a tough league. Going to your Torquays and your Yeovils, it's everyone's cup final. It is a big game. There's obviously a good crowd, a nice stadium. The pitches are better than most in our league, so people will up their game, and I think we can do that next week. We'll go there full of confidence, full of energy. We know it won't be easy. We won't be looking at St Albans' result today thinking that we can just rock up and turn Torquay over, because they're a full-time side. They've got excellent players, so we'll have to be bang on it. We'll have to make sure that we rest and recover and see who's fit for next week. See if we need to add any bodies into the squad as well, because we've got obviously a couple of suspensions and a couple of injuries. David and Slavy today probably weren't fit to start in our minds. David took a hell of a knock against Yeovil on Tuesday night, and Slavy rolled his ankle against Dover. So that's the reason why we didn't play them too. But it just shows the strength and depth that we've got, leaving those out who have been excellent in recent weeks, and obviously replacing them with other people. And we've got a brilliant result against an excellent footballing side today. So overall, really, really good day. Just positive that we can sort of stay in amongst it, just keep the season going for a little bit longer. I think there was a few teams above us that lost today and a few that won, but we know where we're at. We know what we're trying to achieve, and we just want to get to a points total, and then just enjoy the rest of the season and see where it takes us.
Cheers, Scott. Thanks for your thoughts,
Con.
and we'll see you at Torquay next
Thanks, mate.
Saturday.
Cheers.